Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Art of Braids podcast. I am your host, Karen Tenord, and I'm excited about today's guests. Okay, it's plural. We're talking about a topic I hear about all the time, styling an afro using braids. And today's guests are Gabrielle Whetstone-Bridges and Cassidy Bridges, co-creators of the amazing brand It's an Afro. And today, since today's topic is about styling an afro using braids, who better to talk about it than those two? So I remember growing up, my mom would do my hair, and we would just kind of like style it and let it go. But we wouldn't use real products. Like we would just do a few different things, put a bubble in it and keep it going. As I got older, I kind of wanted to like play with things, use crimp, use certain things and certain styling products that give me like the definition. Um, but it just never really held on until I got like my cosmetology license, and I'm like, okay, now I know how to manipulate it. I knew about the chemistry about hair products. So I won't make you wait any longer. Let's welcome Gabrielle Whetstone-Bridges and Cassidy Bridges. So thank you so much for joining us today. Your time and your brand means everything to us, and I'm excited to have you here. But before we get started, I would love for you to kind of like let the our listeners know about your story, because as you know, we all have a story. So share about your backgrounds and what it is you do in your business. I already know, but I mean, you know.
Sure. Well, number one, thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
And our story starts. Well, Cassidy is what we call a rainbow baby, and that's a baby that's born after loss. So a lot of the way that we always parented her has a lot to do with us understanding that this is a privilege that not everyone gets to have, and it's a blessing. So when she was little, people used to come up to us all the time and ask, like, one, was she a baby doll? Like they thought we were literally strolling around a baby doll. I don't know why. And they kept asking, like, does she have any social media? And from my stance and from my husband's stance, we didn't want anything that was forced. We felt like if she wanted to do it at some point, then we would do that. If she wanted to model at some point, then we would need to hear her say that in order to really put her into that business. So she started at maybe 2, and she was on a Good Day in New York a few times.
Think it was 1.
It was 1. Do you remember?
No.
She started on Good Day New York. She's been on Good Morning America. And she just really has a very strong work ethic. Like she just came out that way. So when she was about 4, we wanted to go to Target. The plan was to just go to Target and come home.
Mm-hmm.
But she decided that she wanted to work. She had gotten in some new lip gloss, and she had an Afro unicorn shirt that she wanted to wear. And so she's like, we have to go shoot. So we go to our local mall, and there's a bench there. It has like pretty flowers over there. You kind of can't tell where it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we went over there to shoot, and another natural girl walked by her. And she said, I love your hair. And Cassidy responded back, thank you. It's an Afro. Like, this is not just any style. She did it very politely.
Right.
But this is not just any style. This is an Afro. I'm proud of it. It has history. And that video we shot in February. And Miss Jessie's shared it. And that was pretty much it. Right. And then August, out of nowhere, everyone just started sharing it. I mean, Viola Davis, Tina Knowles, The Shade Room, and Oprah.
Listen, Oprah. Like, I seen it on Oprah. I was there like, listen, yeah, like the rainbow, like she's a gift. Like just the way that she knew it. And because of what you also kind of like instilled in her to like be proud of her hair and to style it and make sure that you put in as much care as possible for her to be like, it's an Afro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
at 4
years old.
Right. And we're from the South. So like my grandmother, she didn't understand it. Um, my great aunts and all of those, they were of the mind, when you gonna comb that baby hair? And I'm like, I do comb her hair. What do you mean?
It's time.
How do you think this happens? But that was their mentality. So even within our family, before the world sort of accepted it and was loving of it, there were definitely things even within our own circle that we had to ignore, and be like, no, we're proud of who we are. And I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of that has to do with, how she feels about herself and about her hair and who she is. But yeah, that happened. And we immediately went and bought the websites. We immediately went and, made sure that we filed so that other people could not take our idea or our company identity. And from there, we've just been going.
Oh, that is really good, especially with this podcast where we're trying to build Braiders as businesses, because certain things that they don't realize you can make a business, like certain slogans and things like that. Like, okay, what does that look like? Let me go run and go do this before someone else takes this thing, and I can't monetize over something that I
Right.
created. So thank you for even sharing that. Like, and I love your afro. Like, I seen that, I was like, oh my God, do you know it's an afro? Like, it was so cute. Like, she was like putting the lip gloss. It's like, like I was just like, nah, okay. I'm all right. Um, all right. So thank you so much for sharing your story. I want to get to the topic at hand, which is styling an afro using braids. Now, when you're styling Cassidy's hair, are you braiding her hair while it's like damp or dry?
Yeah. So actually, I can answer these. Oh, she
Okay.
would like to
All
answer.
right, Cassidy, please
Okay, go
answer.
ahead. You can answer.
So we so I usually just I use my hair is usually a little bit fat from the water, so we just braid it, and after a couple of days it dried and it helps. Or we just speed it up and use dryer.
Oh, okay. So it's like, do you use the dryer on like hot, cold, warm?
No, we use Rev Air. I've always been afraid of the dryer.
Mm.
I've had heat damage. I've had to cut it all off, start back in. I've had salons put chemicals in my hair without me knowing. So we do a lot of, what we use ourselves. It's
What
okay.
if the person listens to this and it's like all sweating? It's all sweating.
It's okay.
No,
I'm sure the listeners have experience. Okay. So a lot of what we do is what we make, and I've been afraid to use like heat. So we don't actually use heat on her hair. The Rev Air dryer, it's reverse air, and we actually use it on a cooling setting.
Yeah, we use it on
Okay.
cold because and also I'm actually afraid of hot things. So we have to use it on cold, and cold makes it dry fast.
Yeah, and it also protects your hair. So
It does.
I'm really big on like, not using, when it comes to protective styling or curls, like not using heat, because it does cause heat damage no matter what heat protectant you put on. Like, it's
Yeah.
over time you'll actually see the effects of it. So yes, and you could tell her hair is very healthy as well as yours. So cutting it off and starting all over again, like I see the benefits of doing that and just kind of like
Yeah.
starting anew. So thank you,
But
Cassidy, for adding.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Within we can't use products that have chemicals in our hair because we use products sometimes we used products a long time ago that had chemicals in it, really? But they actually didn't do good on our hair because our hair started falling out.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I'm like very big on is knowing your own hair, because it's difficult. Like, you expect someone to go to a salon or whatever, and for them to do your hair justice, and that's fine. But you have to know your own body. You have to know your own hair. So being the fact that she was an influencer so young, we did have a lot of companies send us things. And one of the things that I learned is that her hair is very sensitive to the protein. So we can't pack on protein. And even though there are a lot of there are a lot of people who they don't necessarily have healthy hair. And so that protein is something that could be great for them. For her, it does the reverse. So she had a lot of shedding, and we actually had to do a cut on her hair.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. I think that, yeah, it's definitely to be educated on certain things, especially as braiders, touching people here, understanding that not everybody has the same texture or the makeup.
Right.
So you can damage it. Like, it's like, oh, even with the whole keratin time where everybody was doing keratin, it was like, oh, it's natural. I'm like, no, like that is very damaging.
It is.
So it's like the entire process of it is just crazy for natural hair in general. Like, it's like, why would you want to do all of that for yourself? And then all of the heat that goes into that process as well. So I get it. Okay, so let's go to the name. How often do you recommend one to change patterns for like refreshing the curls? So I see her, like, she has her, is that twist or it twist out?
No, this is actually a braid out. So when
I didn't exactly want it to take my. I just wanted to make it simple because it takes a while for me to just fluff it out because it's very big and it's very long, so it takes a long time to do any process when I do my hair.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I left her hair this way, knowing that we were going to have this interview. So that if people, are viewing, they would be able to see. So when I actually do her hair, shampooing and conditioning is the foundation to everything. So if, you're lacking moisture and your hair is just like drawing everything up, you might want to revisit your shampoo and conditioning, methods, because that's something that could make a difference. So we wash, deep condition it, and I actually take it. You can see her parts are pretty defined because I kind of go into the same place. Okay. So
Thank you.
You can see the parts are pretty defined throughout her hair. But what we do is I make sure that I put a leave-in on it, a cream base. We also use a leave-in that I make, and a pomade, and we go over it. We just braid it down. So I don't use the curling agent. I don't use anything to fight frizz necessarily.
We don't have it because it's naturally curly.
Yes, and we don't have to curl it. And this was washed 2 days ago, and we just took it out. So this is generally how I do her hair, because I don't like to, even though I do like the Rev Air, I try not to even use that too often. So this is generally how we do it. And it, looks like a setting style. So she can go outside with her hair braided the way that it is to allow it to dry or just to give more time to it. And then we take it out.
And then get the definition. And I like the fact that you were saying, I'm like, oh, train of thought. You have your own styling, what is it, treatment that you said? Is that like something like a product coming up, or?
It is. Okay. It is.
Okay. So we're gonna touch back on that. But I was just like, wait, she has her own mix. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then I love the fact that you spoke about not having to deal with where people like styling to get away from the frizz. It's like, allow your hair to be your hair. Like, it's gonna have frizz. It's okay. So yeah, it's like too neat. Like, it's not like, curls is supposed to be unruly. They're supposed to be all over the place. And
they're gonna do their own dance. You're gonna be more frustrated trying to combat that than allowing them to do their own dance and embracing that beauty.
Right. And I think it is important to educate people. I'm pretty sure you're educating Cassidy on the importance to let your curls do what it is. And then as braiders, if you're listening, like, try to educate your clients on the importance of not using so many styling products to condition your hair in a certain way, because you go against the natural fall of it, which
Right.
probably reverses the effects of like growth, right? So all right. So what is your most recommended braiding technique?
Honestly, we just you want to answer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can answer.
What was the
Oh shoot,
What's your go-to
what
braiding
was the
technique?
question?
I maybe keeping braids in
Okay, but
for longer.
The technique
they
though.
wanted the technique.
We do it regular. It's we just do it regular.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So I'm gonna ask mom to finish that. This regular, what is regular, mom? What is regular, Gabrielle?
Right. So I am in no way like I guess they would say I have growing hands, but I'm not a stylist.
Mhm.
Right. So I'm the youngest of my 6 siblings, you know, so everyone kind of experimented on me. Very basic. I just do box braids, you know, on her hair for the most part. They're generally medium to large. If you do them too large, it's going to take longer for your hair to dry. But that's pretty much just what we do.
it takes
Oh,
40 days for it
really-
to dry though.
Yeah, if we leave it naturally to completely dry by itself, it's going to be about 3 days.
3 days?
Yes. Yes, her hair's
So her
very,
very
very thick.
If it's
Ooh. So that means you have 3 days of braided style, and then once that's out, you got about how long does the afro or the styled afro last with the braided style?
forever.
It lasts forever.
Forever?
That's basically the answer.
No, I only wash her hair every 2 weeks. So the first week, sometimes I'll leave it exactly the way it is as a braid out. I'm sorry. As a braid out, sometimes I'll just leave it that way. If she wants to go immediately into the fro, then we'll just go ahead and we'll pick it out.
Okay.
And that will generally last us to 2 weeks. Of course, you know, we give her hair moisture when it needs moisture. You know, we'll go through it. A comb doesn't go back in it though.
Okay.
After it's you know,
already
while
styled.
it's wet, then I'll go ahead and detangle it. A comb will not go back in it. If we need to detangle again, then I'll use a little bit of a product and then I'll finger detangle.
Yep. It's really good not to use or detangle or mess with the hair while it's dry. Like,
Yeah.
because you want to keep it moisture. And it's a whole science behind wet hair and manipulating it while it's damp.
Okay.
Because the bonds actually break when you wet your hair, the bonds break, allowing you to manipulate it. So when it dries and the bonds dry the way that you set it.
Okay. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Yeah. All right. So do you have any favorite tools, resources that you use to help you in your entrepreneurial
Afro.
journey?
Yeah. I mean, like I said before, definitely getting to know your hair. And even within that, yes. Even within that, you'll answer.
I have bad memory.
So it is, what is your favorite tools, resources that have helped you during your entrepreneurial journey?
Mom.
Mom.
Your mom, right?
Definitely family.
Family,
Ooh.
yeah.
So it's your mom, family in general. Is that all?
Is that all?
Okay, so I'm gonna kick that back over
Yeah.
to Gabrielle.
Yeah. Well, definitely what she said is it's helpful to have family that's supportive. Also just if you're in a circle of friends where they're not really understanding, you know, your journey or where you want to go, then it's okay to go and make new friends, you know?
Oh, that part.
Like it's okay, you know, to broaden your circle. For us, that definitely has been something that has made a huge difference. Even when we first started out, like I was literally on the phone buying the website and, you know, doing all of those things. And April Showers, who is the founder of Afro Unicorn, I was already in the middle of doing it, but she called me and she was like, sis, are you getting these now? Like, I'm already on it, you know, like
that support.
to be able to have people who are around you who see it, who get it, and who are going through it themselves really does make a difference. That, and I know, you know, people have different belief systems and everything, but really, like, God has been our foundation for every single thing that we do. So hands down, I would definitely say that, you know, and being willing to learn, because a lot of the things that you have to do, you have no idea how to do. You've never done them before, you know, and it's absolutely okay to outsource, and that can be a resource that you use and should use. But sometimes, for instance, with me, I've outsourced and then had to figure it out on my own anyway, you know? So being willing to learn makes a big difference.
Right. And even when, like you said, you outsource, but you had to still do it on your own. It's kind of like failing forward, like, okay, how can I learn or bounce back from this?
Right.
And then God being the source, the biggest source, because through him everything is possible.
Right.
And you know, and also being around friends and allowing them to, I guess, support you and clap and celebrate you and vice versa. I remember when I was, I think two of my friends back to back was going viral, right? And I was just like, okay, I see you, and I was clapping for
Right.
them, but it was something in me that was like, you're gonna be viral too. I don't even know. I just was there like, I'm gonna celebrate y'all. And because I did that and I wasn't on the thing like, oh, you know, like, why not me? I just was there like, it's not my turn. But right now I'm gonna celebrate you. And I kid you not, I end up going viral and twice, like within the same month. But it was just kind of like, wow. And actually, Cassidy was one of the people who went, I think, viral first that I like was around in the circle that I knew. And
Right.
I was like, oh my God. Ramel, I'm like his daughter. And so I'm there congratulating, like, oh, you know, and then right after it was another friend of mine who was in Texas who had went viral. And I just was like celebrating. And I just was there, like, it became so close, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was so close to me that I was just like, oh, okay. And then I went viral. So it was just kind of like, but okay. So this is a little side note because the amount of pressure and anxiety that comes with going viral is great, is crazy
It
because you
is.
want to answer everybody. And you know, you want to be like, oh, yes, yes, yes. But listen, how much sleep did y'all get?
Honestly, we don't really sleep.
I'm not.
I would like to say that we do, but we, you know, like it's something that, you know, most people do, and you should do. It's important.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the thing is, like, when you are, even if you aren't viral, when you're, you know, working your own business, a lot of people think that's like a set schedule, and that can be if that works for you. But that's never worked for us. You know, it is around the clock. There's always something that needs to be done, someone that needs to be answered, an email. And like you said, it's difficult because you want to answer everyone. You want to get to every person, and you want to, you know, thank them, because you wouldn't have gone viral and you wouldn't be in business and all these other things if there weren't people who are willing to support you. So it's okay to just, you know, do it on a schedule. I'm going to do this amount this time, and then I'll come back, and then I'll come back, you know, or even make something as a whole. Like, listen, I would love to reach all of you, but I can't. So thank you.
Right.
You know?
Right. And that would touch it. Okay. All right. Cassidy is basically showing us her postcard because she is on it. Okay. She is like 24/7 rep my brand. Like, I love it. I love it. Like, you're on it. Cassidy, you're going places. Like, you already been places, but you're going everywhere. So, okay, so I think those are really great tools and information y'all shared with me. Um, but before we wrap up, I like to ask my guests a few questions just to keep the end of it positive and on a high note. So we have 3 questions for the both of y'all. And you can tag team and see who wants to answer. But it is, what is your favorite go-to braid style and why? The second is there a book that you recommend that would be great for any starting entrepreneur? And 3 would be, are there any new projects, products, or events that you would like to give us the tea on?
She's gonna answer the last question. She's decided.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, as far as braiding, don't do it. It's not okay. As far as braiding, like I said, my personal go-to is really just medium to large box braids.
Mm.
We detangle braid, you know, so it's out of the way, but it's also a setting style.
Okay. And
No.
It's because you had beads in them.
Yeah, she's saying that she didn't realize that the style that she wears sometimes are box braids. Sometimes I'll do knotless box braids, so she recognizes those as box braids, but didn't realize the style that she wears is also box braids.
Yeah, it's natural box braids without the extension.
Yes.
She got that. Okay, so the next is the book. Any book that you recommend for an entrepreneur or starting an
Sure.
entrepreneur?
Again, I'm always going to say the Bible, because you would be surprised how many instructions and how many things are in there for our everyday life. One book that I'm reading right now is called Battle Rhythm, by Jamal Bernard, and it's a two-sided book. One side is basically a devotional, and the other side is for you to actually write. And the premise of that book, like, being an entrepreneur is difficult. You know, sometimes living life is difficult, you know, like just outside of that. So the book basically talks about how you get your battle rhythm so that whether things are difficult or whether things are going amazing, that you have your structure that you go to and that you do that will help to bring you out of whatever, you know, situation and avenue that you're in.
Got you. And Jamal Bernard, is that from CCC?
He is.
The son of Pastor A.R. Bernard. Okay, so that's my church. So I was there like,
that's our church.
Okay, CCC family. Blessed and highly favored are you?
Okay. Yes.
I can't believe it.
You can't believe it.
I really can't.
Well, listen, God brought us here.
Yes.
So I'm right. Okay, so then the last is to share any products, projects, or events that y'all have coming on. Okay, who's gonna tell? Who's gonna speak?
I can go.
Can you go outside somewhere? At least like stand around over there.
I'm gonna speak.
She can I guess block her ears. Can that work?
Yeah, go ahead. You answer.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Now can you just
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. But keep an eye out.
All right, go ahead. Answer.
Okay. So I'm doing some new t-shirts. We have some t-shirts that we just made. So we won't actually be making t-shirts yet until we get those sold out. A lot of those buys. So we're definitely gonna make new t-shirts, some new pants, new dresses. We're definitely gonna make some new shoes because we do have sneakers, but we haven't been making a lot of shoes anymore after we made those sneakers, right, Mom?
Oh, I can answer. Oh, right.
You're going.
In addition to what she was saying, we released our first book about a year ago, and we released it as a self-published book. And we're actually re-releasing it. We've gone back in, we've edited, the book.
No, don't tell them. Don't tell them the big part.
No,
Okay,
I'm
good.
not. I'm not. I'll keep some of the secrets.
Because that's a business. No, you want our lawyer to sue us for this?
No.
Our lawyer will sue us for this.
Hey, I got it. I got it.
No,
She got it.
So that will be available for pre-order soon, and we'll be releasing it early this spring.
Ooh.
So we have that. Like she said, we have a lot of new designs on our website. Mommy and me stuff, perfect for Mother's Day or your after Easter outfit.
We will make some Mother Day clothes.
Yes.
That don't exactly like that. And we'll make some new Father's Day clothes because we actually released stuff we actually released the stuff before it's the holiday, at least like a few days before the holidays are about to come.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so you
Yes.
already know about your marketing. She's like, we're gonna release it before the holidays so people can go ahead and buy it and support, and then that's when hair comes out, right? Because while you're cold, it's usually like you want to put it away, but then spring and the sun comes out and you get to just let your fro go.
Absolutely. In a moment. And for anyone, who is listening, if you go to our site, it's afro.com. You can use the code We Love Your Hair for 20% off.
Okay. So we love you hair. You hear that? Oh my God. So I guess I can't thank you enough for joining me. Thank you so much, Cassidy. Thank you so much, Gabrielle.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. It was just like a pleasure and a blessing to even have you, and plus an added bonus that y'all CCC members. Like, I'm like, okay.
Absolutely.
I did not expect that. But I want to say before we wrap up, can you tell the people how they can find you, contact you, and how they can support you? I know you spoke about going to the website and using the coupon code, the discount code, but how else can someone find you, contact you, and support you all, you both?
Okay, so go ahead.
So some ways that you can find us, you can Google us,
Or they can go on Instagram.
Yeah, because we do have an Instagram page.
Yes, her Instagram page is Cassidy_Brianna.
And we do also have a channel.
Yes, as well as YouTube and TikTok. Our business, we have both on Facebook and Instagram. It's_N_Afro. And you can find us on both of those platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as supporting, people would be surprised that you don't always have to spend money to support a business, especially a small business.
You don't have to spend money. Doing this and to make stuff is all you need to do. You don't need to spend any money.
Yeah, but sharing a post, obviously we want you to buy merchandise. Please do that. But you don't have to. It's not the only way to share.
We don't want to force you guys. We don't want to
like you don't have to. No, but then how are you going to move the merchandise?
Right. You just told them we're not going to put out any more until that's gone. So,
friends, if you want to support them through buying, if not, you can always support them through sharing, posts, commenting, and tagging people that might love afros and who have kids who want to support Cassidy and Gabrielle.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so thank y'all so much. It was a blessing to have both y'all on the show. That was just great hearing from Cassidy, because Cassidy is just like, listen, I am also the co-creator here. Yes. I have things to say.
You didn't hear what I was saying because I was saying it in my head and I flipped to it.
Let's hope that was good. Yeah?
Halfway. Okay, good. I was joking with you.
Okay.
You gotta love it. And then as entrepreneurs, you also are raising a whole family. So I can imagine how tired you can be through juggling both entrepreneurship, business, being a mom manager, and also dealing with yourself, like taking care of yourself, a husband, your kids, business, work. Like, so thank you so much for all that you do and all
Thank
that you pour into everyone in the community, because through Cassidy, you're basically blessing everyone else. So
Thank
I
you.
commend. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. This is Karen Tenord, and you were listening to both Gabrielle Whetstone-Bridges and Cassidy Bridges. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Listen, such an amazing interview. To get more info, go to kaidetres.com/podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you got a lot from today. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and show back up. Okay, see you in a bit.